Tradition. You can't buy it. It's earned the hard way over decades and eras. On the field, on the road, in the mud. With guts and with grit, and firm belief that today could be our day. The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup is back. Still alive, still kicking, the oldest prize in American soccer. 96 teams, part-timers to major leaguers. Survive and move on, lose, and you go home. So we call all underdogs, dreamers, and believers. And we ask you again, one simple question. Are you up for the cup?
The stunning mountains in Chattanooga, Tennessee earned it the title of the Scenic City, but tonight the best scene in town takes place at Finley Stadium. It's round 2 of the U.S. Open Cup featuring crosstown rivals Chattanooga FC and the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Hello everyone, alongside Ken Levicka, I'm Maura Sheridan. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. And this is quite the way for these two teams to meet. This is the oldest annual team sports tournament in U.S. history.
This, Maura, is why we love the U.S. Open Cup. For storylines and matches like this, the first time in the existence of soccer in the beautiful city of Chattanooga. Chattanooga FC, Chattanooga Red Wolves, that they are meeting, and it is juicy. This is going to be electric.
Expecting 10,000 plus today. And those fans are expecting some goals. Keegan Anselin expected to lead the way for Chattanooga FC.
Yeah, he can provide them, and he has thrilled the home fans so far here in 2025 in MLS Next Pro play. 2 goals and an assist. An unbeaten start to the year for Chattanooga FC with playoff aspirations.
And for the Red Wolves, tighten things up defensively. Now it's about putting the pieces together in the final third. Matt Bentley is perhaps the answer.
Yeah, there's no mistaking the defense was the most problematic area of the pitch for Chattanooga Red Wolves last season. So far, so good in USL League One play. Matt Bentley, the hero, New Jersey Alliance, with his brace, a penalty, and a goal run of play.
Let's take a look at the starting 11s for both squads, Chattanooga FC and the Red Wolves.
So let's start with CFC. You've got the veteran Jakupovic in goal. He won an FA Cup at Leicester City. Then you've got Brown, Sarsar, Kohler, and Garvanian. The back four, they are extremely solid. In the midfield, Robertson, Louis-Jean, Mengarov, Mendonca, Watson, and Anselin leading the attack. Ricardo Jerez, the former Guatemala #1 in goal tonight for Chattanooga Red Wolves.
Rashawn Clark is our center official. Blue kits for Chattanooga FC, red for the Red Wolves. The Red Wolves of USL League One, Chattanooga FC of MLS Next Pro, 2 Tier 3 teams in American soccer. And we are underway. US Open Cup second round, Chattanooga FC, Chattanooga Red Wolves.
And early on, Maura, you can feel it in this building in Chattanooga. This is the largest pre-sale that Chattanooga FC has ever had, non-MLS opponent for a friendly. They are jammed into this venue. This means something to all involved.
Well, they are split pretty evenly. The blue fans on one side, the red fans on the other. A lot of history between these two clubs, but they've never met on the pitch. And what a way to do it in a survive and advance game. Watson reaching for it, but it's out of play.
Now, you're already seeing Jerez, who is an absolute veteran, longtime Guatemalan national team keeper. He's already telling his backline, relax, breathe, just because there's been so much buildup, anticipation for this one here tonight. All of the last week and a half, you don't want yourself to get too amped up. There really does have to be, especially these young players, some pacing that they're able to accomplish.
Garvanyan. Chattanooga FC on the move. And a foul called. Mendonça goes down, and Chattanooga FC will just switch the point of attack. Up the wing, cut off, and we can already see the physicality in this game.
Well, a good sign if you're Chattanooga Red Wolves, because Jordan Ayambala from his left back position already able to track with some of the flank players, the Chattanooga FC. They make life difficult for the opposition. Ayambala has been someone that has really helped form this back four. Still very early on in the USL League One campaign, but Mora last year was a mess defensively for Chattanooga Red Wolves, and Scott McKenzie, now second-year manager. A lot of work was put into the offseason to try and fortify that, and while they're still trying to find their attack, there's been a major overhaul on that side as well. The defense has helped them to results in their first 2 matches of the USL League One campaign. It's just seeing this truly for the first time, this Chattanooga Red Wolves back line, and it's only been a couple of minutes. This is so much more well organized than it was last season.
Yeah, only allowed 1 goal through 2 games in the USL League One season, but only scored 1 goal as well. A pair of draws, including one last week against Charlotte Independence. It was a scoreless draw and no shots on target in that game for the Red Wolves.
Well, Chattanooga Red Wolves is early on not going to get any positive marks for style, but they've been able to get results and tread water. And this point of the year, this is what you're looking for. And you know as well as anybody, a U.S. Open Cup win, especially in a derby like this, it can really push momentum forward.
Now the Red Wolves on the throw-in. Bobbled around, and another one for technically the visitors, the Red Wolves. Finley Stadium, the home of Chattanooga FC. I thought it was interesting when we talked to Scott McKenzie. He said, look, we're just happy to be playing in Chattanooga. They've been on the road this season for every game.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what the venue is, if you're in Eastridge or you're here within the city limits of Chattanooga. The fact that you can wake up in your own bed and go to the office later in the afternoon, that means something. They've been living out of hotels for the last 2.5 weeks.
Kinsner plays it long. And headed out here for Chattanooga FC. These 2 teams still feeling each other out early moments of this match. Both played in the first round and both pulled off pretty narrow victories. For Chattanooga FC, it was a 1-0 win over Corpus Christi FC. Won that game in extra time. And for the Red Wolves, came down to penalties actually against New Jersey Alliance, a UPSL team.
Both sides really had to work for it. Chattanooga Red Wolves, though, they conceded in the 92nd minute of that match, and New Jersey Alliance was poking and prodding for more goals as they got into extra time, got out of there with that victory. But you look at Chattanooga Red Wolves in that first round victory over New Jersey Alliance. They were outshot. They had fewer shots on goal. They were on the wrong end of 55-45 possession. They had fewer corners than New Jersey Alliance and still found a way to get out of there. That's the name of the game in a knockout competition like this.
Bentley reaching for it. He gets knocked, and here comes a free kick in a dangerous area. Now the Red Wolves looking to take advantage.
Dangerous and Matt Bentley go hand in hand. Look at his movement. Good turn to shield off the defender, take the contact. That is veteran play there. And Steve Louis-Jean, he was just on the wrong end of some really nifty attacking play, and now a direct free kick. Great opportunity.
Jakupovic gets ready in net. The keeper for Chattanooga FC, 40 years old. You mentioned a FA Cup experience he won with Leicester City.
You have a 40-year-old keeper and a 39-year-old keeper in goal tonight for their respective teams. I don't think that's happening anywhere else in the U.S. Open Cup.
Well, Effie stands over the ball, 7 years with the Red Wolves. Off the shot, it's a goal! The Red Wolves score! First chance of the game. And the Red Wolves convert.
Well, that was a magnificent strike off the left foot. There is nothing that Jakupovic can do, and you see him as he really does not like the way the wall was set up. He had his vision blocked, and that was an incredible strike.
Well, that's exactly how you want to start a match if you're the Red Wolves. Omar Hernandez actually has the lone goal in USL League One play as well.
And you want to know where he started his youth career, Maura? Chattanooga FC. So how about that? We've been talking about this rivalry, the tension built up between these two sides, and the goal scorer for Chattanooga Red Wolves attended Chattanooga FC Youth Academy.
Looking for a cross, Luis Jean. Blocked, second chance, denied. Perez leaping for that, swats it down. Here comes a corner though for Chattanooga FC, looking to retaliate.
There's a good response, and Steve Louis-Jean got a lot of pace on that left-footed shot. And the last thing you want to do if you're Chattanooga Red Wolves, you get off to a glorious start off of a set piece. You can't get leaky in the back now. You have got to find your composure.
Tate Robertson ready to deliver. Some pushing and shoving going on. Clark, our referee, there to break things up.
Looks like the rain is starting to fall here in Chattanooga as well, so that just adds a little bit more intrigue.
I don't think anything's going to keep these fans from watching this match. Robertson off the header high. It's Logan Brown skying for that one.
We'll take a look at how that corner developed. You look at the pressure being applied up the left side. There was the first touch from Louis-Jean. It deflected back onto his left foot, and he decided to let it fly. But Chattanooga FC, you're down 1-0. You're collecting yourself. I think that sequence able to get some pressure on Chattanooga Red Wolves' goal and force Jerez to finally be inserted into this match, that is going to help calm nerves. Now you need to be on the front foot, though, if you're the home side.
Knapp plays it back. Now up over the top. Pedro Hernandez settles to Bentley. Playing wide, he squares. Looking to take on Logan Brown. Ayambila. Kinzer launches one into the 18. Jakupovic, no issue with that. We're 10 minutes in, we've already seen a goal. Omar Hernandez on a free kick in the 7th minute. It was the first real opportunity for either of these sides. And the Red Wolves score a goal. For Chattanooga FC as a club, they have more history in this tournament. This is the 10th appearance in the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup. For the Red Wolves, they've appeared 5 times, and last year was by far their best run. Made it to the 3rd round and gave a USL championship side in Birmingham all they could handle. Ultimately lost that game in extra time.
Chattanooga Red Wolves, it had been about 2 years in the making, them trying to find some consistent positivity. Last season for Red Wolves, there was that win that you just mentioned, or the run you just mentioned in the US Open Cup, and then there was a match day 12 victory at eventual USL League One champion Union Omaha. After that, it was pretty much faceplant the rest of the way.
Off the interception, slicing through. Picking up the pace, lovely ball ahead. Here comes Hernandez, cuts to his right foot, shoots right to the keeper.
Really good positioning for Jakupovic as he cut off the angle, but that was real strong counterplay from Chattanooga Red Wolves, and that in-cut that Pedro Hernandez made. Great control on this artificial surface with his right foot, and he was able to clear himself some room and get that shot off. Great individual effort, but Jakupovic equal to the task, and that is where having such a veteran, experienced keeper like that comes into play. No panic, knows where he needs to be, and that's how the ball ends up right in his chest.
Jakupovic also leads MLS Next Pro right now with 17 saves on the regular season. Moves centrally, just a bit out of reach there for Chattanooga FC.
By the way, I appreciate the fact that they took off the American football markings from the pitch. Didn't have to do that, but the magnitude, the scope of this match did so, and I think that that is really a signifier, and I know it's a small thing, but a signifier of how much this sport means to this area.
It's definitely a soccer town as this service, too high and out from Logan Brown. It's amazing that there are 2 professional soccer clubs in a city with just 200,000 people.
Allegiances split, and Chattanooga soccer fans, whether it's Chattanooga FC or Chattanooga Red Wolves, they will talk your ear off about the background, the backstory with these 2 franchises. Chattanooga FC came first, then Chattanooga Red Wolves, and where they sit within the realm of the sport in this city. For the long-timers, there's no love lost. And for the newcomers, it's easy to get caught up in that friction and the passion for your side, and it makes it a really, really rich matchup. To me, the most intriguing in this round of the U.S. Open Cup, and maybe this entire tournament in 2025.
Surely some competition, little bit of bad blood between these 2 clubs. Makes it fun, for us at least.
No
Hernandez playing it wide. Waters in the box. And the flag goes up, offside the call.
Chattanooga FC, that win over Corpus Christi 1-0, where Naglista had the goal 90+12 to put Chattanooga FC into this second round. They had 57% possession against Corpus Christi, but only 2 shots on goal in the first 105 minutes. They've already equaled that here in this opening half. They did it prior to the 10-minute mark, but down 1-0. You'd like to see them try and get more and more aggressive. You don't want to be urgent yet, but you can't make mistakes like that where you're bowling the opposition from behind.
Oh, both players down right now and slow to get up. It's Anselin.
Just a bit too aggressive here on the far side. Some heavy contact, and it looks like everybody's up and ready to resume play.
Pedro Hernandez. Light touch. Surges wide. And Hernandez knocks it off a defender there.
Red Wolves have done most of their work up the right side against that left side of the back 4 of Chattanooga FC. Sarsar and Garvanian are a bit under siege right now, the left back and the left center back for Chattanooga FC.
It's Omar Hernandez on this throw. Waters cuts through off his body. Served up off the cross, broken up by Chattanooga FC. A reset now for the Red Wolves. Kinzer. Hernandez. And denied again by Kohler. Well, Effie.
You love that from Walefi. I mean, he's just so savvy.
Iambila dispossessed. Looking at transition now, Chattanooga FC. Anselin tries to get around, and it's touched away, but it will be a corner for Chattanooga FC.
Really good body control there from Anselin. The defender thought that Anselin was going to put a touch on the ball. Instead, Anselin was able to adjust his body, shield off to the defender, and force a little bit of a hook around poke with the toe that earns the second corner of the match here for Chattanooga FC.
Well, he's a great target player, 6'4", from Jacksonville, Florida. As the large center backs come up to help Anselin on this corner kick. It's Robertson again who takes it. Near post, nothing much on that. Opportunity for a second ball. Finally lands. Head on a swivel. Got a foul. Mangarov draws.
That's pretty silly from Jordan Iambala. There was no reason for that. You are not in a spot where you have to make a desperate defensive play like that. You were beaten, but help was coming from the left side, and instead you prattle right in to Mangarov, and you set up a pretty dangerous free kick here, already up 1-0 in the 19th minute. That's a lack of discipline right there from the back line for Chattanooga Red Wolves and Jordan Iambala.
Well, it's an opportunity for Chattanooga FC to equalize on a set piece themselves. This is how the Red Wolves scored earlier. Robertson, Anselin. Or excuse me, it's Mangarov who's next to Robertson. Harris in net, and there's that wall for the Red Wolves. Mangarov off his left foot, straight to goal, and he scores! Mangarov equalizes. Chattanooga FC right back in this game.
We have set-piece mastery in the opening 20, Maura. This is as good as it gets. It started with Omar Hernandez for Chattanooga Red Wolves with an absolute missile on a free kick. And look at this curler to the near post from Daniel Mangarov, the UVA product, his second goal all competitions this season. And there is absolutely nothing Ricardo Harris is going to do unless he's able to put rockets on his feet to get to that near post to cover it. That is as well struck and as well placed as you're going to find. 1-1. What a start to the derby.
Well, it's getting louder and louder. What a blast. Mangarov, the 23-year-old. And we are level again in this Chattanooga derby.
I mean, Maura, we're talking two Tier 3 sides right now in the U.S. soccer pyramid, but we have seen two world-class set pieces in the first 20 minutes of this match in front of an absolutely revved up electric crowd in a first match between two sides that have simply just been forced to coexist over the last 8 years. This is as good as it gets right here.
Another free kick for the Red Wolves 20 minutes into this match. Hernandez to Hernandez. It's Bentley. He slides, and I'm not sure I saw a lot of contact on that one, but we're going to see a yellow card. Looks like that goes against Watson for Chattanooga FC.
So the referee's going to say Callum Watson grabbed the shirt of, I believe, Walefi. We're going to take another look at it here. Oh no, check that. That was Bentley who got taken down, and you can see the arm comes out, and even if there's not a lot of grabbing, it's pretty obvious right in front of the referee. And the yellow is not for the foul. The yellow, I believe, is for the reaction from Callum Watson.
It's heated. But I think both of these teams looking to maybe temper emotions early. It's difficult when you play in this environment.
Right. That's what we were talking about earlier. You have got to check your emotions.
Into the 18, looking to turn and fire, denied. Player goes down for Chattanooga FC, hence the whistle. Now that opportunity for Ramos on the Red Wolves side, couldn't make anything of it.
That was something right off the training ground, and credit to Fareed Sarsar. He sniffed that out right away for Chattanooga FC, was on the ball. He had his marking. He's watched the film, and I'm not sure there was a ton of film that goes into this. There was not a lot of time, especially for Chattanooga FC after playing Sunday in what was a knockdown, drag-out penalties win over Atlanta 2. But Sarsar saw enough to know that that has been executed previously and knew exactly where he needed to be.
Sarsar, the captain on this Chattanooga FC side tonight. Chattanooga FC having a great start to the MLS Next Pro season. They are unbeaten so far. Even earned an extra point. In Next Pro, you can earn an extra point on penalties at the end of a game, so they did that against Atlanta on Sunday. Means they have experience taking penalties. If we should get there, we are very long away from that.
The way things are going, we could get there in a 5-5 full-time score line.
Brown. Anselin blocked on his opportunity. Luis Jean plays it to the left. Trying to be shifty in the box, Chattanooga FC. Worked around, served up, punched away. Jerez.
And Jerez did not need to punch in that spot. But I think you're seeing this Chattanooga Red Wolves back line get stretched a bit. If you notice, everybody is stacked up in the area because there was over pursuit initially, and now that's allowing real estate to work with for Chattanooga FC, and they're deciding to let some rocket shots go from distance and see if they can challenge Jerez.
Well, you mentioned Jerez and his experience with the Guatemalan national team. He's also the goalkeeper coach on this Chattanooga Red Wolves team. He serves as a backup keeper as well, but behind Jason Smith, who starts the League One games, at least for now.
I wonder how that conversation goes with Scott McKenzie if he says, I'm the best keeper for the job, put me in.
Garvanyan tackled away, but it's a corner.
Boy, there is a lot of room for Chattanooga FC to operate now on the ball. There is some cushion being provided by defenders to make sure that they don't get blown by. There's a lot of speed on this Chattanooga FC offensive side, but I think a little bit more of a press is going to be helpful right now to Chattanooga Red Wolves because Chattanooga FC is being allowed to use that speed, and we saw it again down that left side on the counter, seemingly out of nothing.
Robertson, the 27-year-old, yet another corner kick for Chattanooga FC. They have scored on a set piece tonight. In-swinger, headed down across the face of the goal, but not on target. A couple players on a pile up there for Chattanooga FC.
Logan Brown, I believe, was the one who got his head on it, and then he went down awkwardly on his knees and took a little bit to get up. But on a corner, ideally, if you are in a defensive situation like Chattanooga Red Wolves was, the last thing you want to do is allow the ball to fall right into the middle of 6, 7, 8-person mixture, because the last thing you want is just a little toe poke beating the goalkeeper.
Well, Effie, Bentley charging forward, trying to get the edge. He does, but he runs out of space there.
Bentley putting his speed on display right there. Yes, he ran out of room. It's because this surface is so quick, but it's not just his speed. He's also got a big body as well. That certainly helps, and Bentley was magnificent against New Jersey Allowance in the opening round of this U.S. Open Cup. He had the penalty that he earned and converted in the 65th minute, scored again in the 84th. Chattanooga Red Wolves thought that that was all they would need, but then they conceded in the 92nd. Chattanooga then Red Wolves able to finish it off in penalties to get to this spot. But Bentley is a really difficult mark. He is a really, really rough matchup because he's a complete package.
Yeah, Scott McKenzie said he loves having someone like Bentley because he actually likes to defend, to press. Just a real workhorse on the pitch for the Red Wolves, and they've needed that. Then finished 11th out of 12 teams in USL League One in 2024. Looking to take a step up here in 2025. Kinsner. A battle through the air. Kinsner again. Hasn't dropped quite yet. Finally it does for Chattanooga FC on the move and off a heel. Unfortunate knock there. Walefi. Perez, his keeper, regroups now with Kinsner, the 22-year-old. Up the flank to Bentley if he can get there. No.
Well, that's what Bentley does, his mere presence. And Fareed Sarsar doesn't want to mess around trying to control the ball as he's full sprint to the touchline. He knows Bentley, if he gets on the ball, then he's 1v1 against the keeper. Might as well launch it across the touchline as opposed to letting Bentley go and make a play. You know that you are the top of a scouting report when your mere presence within 15 feet of a ball makes a defender second guess what he wants to do.
Perez. Brown. Well, you would think if you are Chattanooga FC, you would like to see someone like Anselin on the ball a little bit more than we've seen him.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He has been extremely quiet, and that's credit to Chattanooga Red Wolves. They've been able to contain him. But it is Callum Watson who's looked dangerous on the other side of the top of this formation.
Anselin taking a couple bumps. Well, sometimes that's part of being the #1 person, as you said on his scouting report, that you're drawing the attention, your teammates can step up. Kohler, lose a defender. Now it's broken up. The other way now, Pedro Hernandez floats on it. And out of reach there. On the same page, that transition opportunity.
And Hernandez got caught trying to do too many things at once. He was checking his flanks, both sides, to see where reinforcements were coming, and didn't have an opportunity to slow up. Sort of in basketball, you want your wings to be able to get out in front of you so you can distribute on the break. Similar in this sport, however, unable to hook up and hold up play enough because the defender was right in front of him.
Brown on the overlap. Mendonça. Watson. Robertson. Tries to muscle it away, but it's a goal kick.
I think it's safe to say now that we have arrived at the half-hour mark that everybody has now settled into the match. It is properly physical. It is, for the most part, well played here. You're seeing some individual moments of brilliance, but now after we got the two masterpiece set pieces out of the way, one for both sides, Red Wolves first, Chattanooga FC in the 20th minute. Now you're starting to see some jabs being thrown, some right hooks, and everybody's starting to settle in.
Hernandez. Iambila. Knapp. Knapp in his second year with the club. Kinsner. Iambila. On loan from Miami FC, Iambila, USL Championship side. Perez. Trying to find the seams of this Chattanooga FC defense. Watson with a bit of a press. Teammates come to help. Perez, Watson out in front of the keeper. Powered through, stays in the final third as the press pays off for Chattanooga FC. There's a trip on the far side.
And this is where, if you're Chattanooga FC, you pressing, this is the right time of the first half. Now that everybody's settled in to start going this route, because some legs are starting to get a little bit tired. Chattanooga Red Wolves certainly not at this point of the season, at any point in the attack where they feel comfortable playing out of the back, and then you force a mistake that leads to this set piece right outside the area.
It was drawn by the goal scorer for Chattanooga FC, Mangarov. Will be Robertson on what is sort of a short corner here for Chattanooga FC. These can be really threatening, especially at that back post. From Robertson, straight to goal, and it's off the crossbar. My goodness, what a chance.
Maura, I was about to say that I wonder if he's going to go for goal, because Anselin, as Harris, I don't know, did he make contact with the near post? We're going to see here. It's a shot on goal, goes off the crossbar, and he did. He fell on the post in the goal, not the near post, but he fell on the piping that makes up the bottom portion of the goal, and he's clutching at his hip right now. So Jerez is in pain, and the physio is going to need to come out. But I was wondering if maybe, just maybe, Robertson was going to, because Anselin was lurking in the 6-yard box in front of Jerez. We just discussed how quiet he has been, but a spot like that at 6'4", that's where he makes a difference, his presence, and sure enough, goes off the crossbar nearly 2, and now Jerez is hurt.
It truly rattled that goal. And Harris is down. Jason Smith is the backup keeper today, but again, the starter in league play for the Red Wolves, if necessary, if they have to make a change this early at that keeper spot.
If you fell on that hip bone, and that is not necessarily soft, that piping that the goal base is made of, that is certainly not going to feel good.
Oh, it's a bruise, if nothing else.
Yeah. You'll see again, he swipes at the ball off the crossbar, and yep, right on that hip bone, right in his waist area. That right hip, he falls on it. Now, one thing I didn't see more of is whether or not he got a fingertip on it, and that's actually a proper save. He might very well have gotten a fingertip on that shot, and that's what parried it into the crossbar.
Looks like the 39-year-old keeper is going to stay put.
I mean, I'm 40. That happens to me. I'm not coming back and playing. I know how he feels at 39, and he's doing a lot better than I would in this spot.
Ten minutes to go in the first half. Bentley through the air and drops for Chattanooga FC. Sometimes you forget you gotta say that every time. Specify here.
Right, it's happened to me twice already in this first half.
Well, I guess if I want to speak broadly, I can say Chattanooga.
Talking with both managers, and Chris Nugent specifically told us, hey, you go into coffee shops around here, you go to the grocery store around here, people are yelling go CFC or go Wolves. They want to tell you about their version of this rivalry. Now, on the fan forums and more, you know, when you start getting onto the interwebs, there are some interesting opinions, some deep, dark things that exist, but some of the fan forums, both sides, they wanted to avoid calling this a derby. They're not rivals. They've never met. But no, this is a proper derby, and Scott McKenzie, Chattanooga Red Wolves boss, flat out said, hey, geographically, it's what a derby is. When you're close range like that, this is a derby. It is by definition a derby. He gave us the go-ahead. This is a proper derby, and dare I say, this is a rivalry match. You can't have the feelings that both sides have for one another, even if they haven't played previously, and this not be a rivalry once they come together on the same pitch.
This city has shown up, whether it's professional soccer or amateur soccer, in this town, because when Chattanooga FC was an NPSL side, that's a fourth-tier amateur side, they broke a record 18,000 fans at a final.
And just the fan support for Chattanooga FC. They have 3,000 fans that own shares of the club. 1,800 of them are within the city limits of Chattanooga, but there are fans who own a share of the club, all 50 states, 25 different countries. It is so unique. It's such great grassroots support. And then, of course, Chattanooga Red Wolves, despite them being fairly young, they, 3 years ago, were in a USL League One final. This is an epicenter in this portion of the United States with soccer. These two clubs are proof of it.
Off the block, looking to run. It results in a foul against Chattanooga FC. And a yellow card as well. It's the second one we've seen for the home side. Garvanyan. So now it's Watson and Garvanyan booked in this first half.
Garvanyan, and he was just a bit clunky. I don't know about the yellow in that spot. It seemed like that was incidental. Usually in a situation like that, a yellow would come out if the referee thought that there was an additional swipe of the leg that made contact with the heel and sent the player sprawling. I don't think that happened there. That's a bit unfair to Garvanyan.
Knapp. Touched away by Sarsar. Right back in the attacking third for the Red Wolves. Enslin can't get on the ball there. Waters steps to the Irishman from Dublin. And it's a call against Garvanyan and Chattanooga FC. Gotta be cautious here.
Chattanooga FC had given Red Wolves problems, really starting to press the ball hard, but in the midfield, Red Wolves has done a much better job with their spacing and their connectivity, which has not been a strong suit for them for the better part of the last season and a half, for that matter. But there was the first 15 minutes that I thought was the best stretch in all of 2025 for Chattanooga Red Wolves, and now they're acquitting themselves nicely after that pressure that Chattanooga FC started to apply. This is better for Red Wolves. They're looking threatening again.
Well, we're quite far back on this set piece. Doesn't mean magic can't happen. We've seen 2 goals on set pieces so far. Hernandez launches it into the 18, redirected by the defense for Chattanooga FC. Floats up, rising, nothing much. With 5 minutes to go in this first half. Hernandez will toss it in. The Dalton, Georgia native scored his second goal across all competitions in the 7th minute. Chattanooga FC gets organized defensively. Back to Hernandez off his left foot. It's low. Well, Effie, certainly a fan favorite. Ramos makes a move and denied by Robertson. Pedro Hernandez on the wing. Back post, mistimed on that header for Knapp. The other way now for Chattanooga FC. And they'll slow the pace a little bit. Anselin.
Red Wolves asking a lot of questions, but that cross was just a bit behind. And there was no way that John Hope was going to get ahead on that. And as you mentioned, he was mistiming his jump a bit there. But Red Wolves certainly the better of possession here over the last 5, 6, 7 minutes and forcing the defense to find its shape.
Knapp. A return to Chattanooga FC. It's tough to even hear the whistle at times, and I'm sure it's tough to communicate in this game. It's so loud at Finley Stadium. Obvious shove in the back. John Hope.
See, and here's my issue with the yellow that was shown to Garvanyan on the other end moments ago. That was an innocuous contact toe to heel that led to the card being shown. John Hope right there, that's a deserved card. That needs to be a reach to the pocket. That was way more severe than Chattanooga FC's yellow that was shown about 3.5 minutes ago.
Well, we saw Watson get a yellow card for dissent, but it was a similar moment, shove in the back. Hernandez, a little congested on that flank, trying to get some separation. Now it's Pedro Hernandez, body's flying, and a free kick on the way for the Red Wolves.
I know you don't want things to get chippy, but I think that we are seeing the referee inserting himself too much into the action right now. There's a lot of 50-50 physical match, derby that I think I'd be perfectly fine allowing at this moment. There's nobody going at one another. Nobody's challenging one another physically with extracurriculars. I think there's too many whistles here that is really hurting the flow of play as we head towards the later stages of the half.
Just looking to fully get a set on this free kick, avoid the pushing and shoving. On the one touch, Pedro Hernandez surges forward, and his pass is intercepted. Callum Watson now, the 25-year-old. He'll possess. Red Wolves got back quickly. Here comes Chattanooga FC. Mangarov.
That's got to be a yellow. There it is.
That's against John Hope. The first one against the Red Wolves, and it's Mangarov, and just that first step with all of the speed he has. The goal scorer, earns this foul.
That was a beautiful ball up the far touchline. Mangarov able to win the ball first, and then Ayambala comes up and makes clear contact. No effort to make a play on the ball. Knew he was beaten, instead went with the hip check, and that is an easy, easy yellow.
Excuse me, that is Ayambala with the yellow card.
And I wonder if he's going for goal again here like he did last time. Tate Robertson, this is about the same spot.
Oh, I'm sure Jerez is very much aware of that now.
And his hip.
Slammed it off the crossbar, did Robertson, the last time he was in this position. Robertson, this time, Mangarov takes one touch and hits that right into Bentley. On the second ball, still in a dangerous spot. Anselin gets tangled up. Knapp a little bit uncomfortable as he gets up, walking gingerly, but appears to be all right for the Red Wolves.
Good job there defensively by Chattanooga Red Wolves. And credit to Bentley. He took that shot in a very uncomfortable portion of his body and still stuck with it and was able to play the ball out of the box, and then he trotted away to gather himself. But you had mentioned it earlier, Maura, that Bentley, one of the reasons that he's held in such high esteem by his manager, Scott McKenzie, is that he is a very willing defensive participant. He's just not here to hunt goals, and he showed it right there.
John Hope signed in July of last year with the Red Wolves. That touch wayward. Chattanooga FC with possession now. Robertson on this right side. Plays it behind to Brown. Luis Jean. Trouble dealing with Knapp. And his pass is off the mark. We're in stoppage time now. Chattanooga FC, Chattanooga Red Wolves. It's a derby game in the second round of the U.S. Open Cup. Kinzer. Luis Jean. Mendonça. From Kohler to the bench.
What a spectacle this is. The U.S. Open in and of itself, U.S. Open Cup is a spectacle. I love it. To me, it's one of the best domestic tournaments on the entire planet. But here in Chattanooga, who would have thought Chattanooga is the center of the best match of the night, best match of this round in the entire U.S. Open Cup. Storylines abound, and this community has come out, and they are showing out, and it is absolutely electric. How do you not love this if you love this game?
Yeah, I have a feeling that final attendance number is going to surpass what we even originally thought. They had sold 10,000 tickets, but I'm sure so many people just walked up and bought today. It's a place to be in the city of Chattanooga. Jakupovic puts it in the final third, skims off a couple heads. And a corner kick on the way for Chattanooga FC. Could be one of the final plays for Chattanooga FC in this first half. Can they score two unanswered and take the lead at home? Robertson again towards the back post. Yes! No goal, it's called back. A foul.
The referee has called a push. And now a yellow is shown for dissent.
It's Sarsar, the captain, who is besides himself.
So a couple of points on this. Maura, you remember when we talked about on a previous corner for Chattanooga FC, you do not want to allow the ball to land between 6, 7 different players in front of goal, because that happens. But then the referee, I don't know how he sees what he claims he saw and made that call from his vantage point outside the area as that corner was struck and then the ball found the back of the net.
Well, I would agree. It's very difficult to see on that replay where the foul was. Regardless, we played 45 minutes. It's 1-1, Chattanooga FC, Chattanooga Red Wolves living up to the hype.
No doubt, and it's what we anticipated it would be, which was high-level soccer with two sides that understood the ramifications for the respective fan bases, equally matched, extremely entertaining, and even some intrigue here late in this opening half.
It's a deadlock for now in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup second round. We'll take a break and come back with highlights and the start of the second half.
How they can support your higher needs.
Halfway up, like right in front of the TV camera. Yeah, you did. You ever see the TV camera with the tent?
Play along with Game Day and the new CFC Folk Arcade presented by Terran. Winners of our games and contests will win prizes throughout the year. From travel kits from Terran to dinners at Diamond. There's always something for you to win in the CFC Folk Arcade. Scan the QR code on the video board to play along. We've got a special birthday in the house. Let's hear it for Ruby Hendricks, Ruby Grace, and Sigili. Jacob, Jackie, and Fred. Charles Drew. Kelly Allen and friends. Sea-Rock City. Chickamauga U12 team. Gaston. Shreveport and friends.
Sorry about that.
YMCA of Rome. River Runners. Scenic City SC. Mountain City Club. Southeastern Trust Company. Associated General Contractors of America. One Voice. La Paz. CSLA. Big Brothers, Big Sisters. CFC Academy. Renewal by Anderson. Chat's Chiropractic and Rehab. Justice Standard Friends. Single Mountain Store. Tim Henshaw and Friends. Emma Grace's birthday crew. A very special thank you to all of our groups enjoying tonight's game. Thank you all very much. Today's halftime light show is presented by EPB. EPB, electrifying Chattanooga. Fans, as you prepare for the EPB light show, use your smartphone and scan the QR code on the board. Join the excitement, turn up your brightness, and hold your screen high. 30 seconds and live. We have a t-shirt talk now presented by EPB.
Welcome back to a jam-packed Finley Stadium. 1-1 the score in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. It's Chattanooga FC and the Chattanooga Red Wolves in the Chattanooga Derby. We played 45 minutes and we're gearing up for the second half. But first, let's take a look at the highlights from this first half, back and forth to open, Ken.
Mara, there were plenty of them. Long ball here. This is early on, opening 5 minutes of the match. And you see really good body control for Matt Bentley of Chattanooga Red Wolves. Draws the free kick and then a beautiful left-footed blast. Omar Hernandez, former Chattanooga FC Youth Academy player, and he strikes against his former side. It did not take Chattanooga FC long, though, to get back on the front foot. Just moments after Ricardo Jerez is challenged, he comes up with the save, but Chattanooga FC had grown into the match. A great opportunity here for Pedro Hernandez of Chattanooga Red Wolves, but good positioning by the goalkeeper, Eldon Jakupovic, showing his veteran medal. Then free kick opportunity, Chattanooga FC, look at the curler, Mora. How beautiful is that? Daniel Mangarov plants it inside the near post. Jerez then watched his shot go off the crossbar from a difficult angle. He suffered a knock in his own goal, was able to stay in the match, but that's where we sit, 1-1. Really entertaining opening 45 and change.
Stats from the first half, we see the advantage shots for Chattanooga FC, but just 2 on target for both of these sides.
Yeah, and this really is reminiscent of Chattanooga Red Wolves in their opening matchup against New Jersey Alliance, where they really went through long stretches of not being able to pull the trigger on shots, though they took advantage of their few opportunities. That's playing out again here tonight, this time against a rival in Chattanooga Football Club. Looking at offsides, Chattanooga Red Wolves, they have the 2. Those were fairly close, and you're seeing Red Wolves trying to open up the attack compared to what we've seen throughout the USL League One campaign. More runs up the flank, and some adjustments have been made by Scott McKenzie. This is a more free-flowing Red Wolves attack than what we've seen previously.
No subs for either side to start this second half. Red Wolves will start with possession. And if you're just joining us, Red Wolves are wearing red. Blue kits for Chattanooga FC. 1-1 the score. Pedro Hernandez will start with the ball, and we're underway here in the second half.
More as we get things going here in this second stanza for Chattanooga FC. Just keep putting pressure on goal. They're the quicker side. I think they're the more advanced attacking side, and they almost unlocked Chattanooga Red Wolves a couple of times in the final 6-7 minutes of the opening half. For Chattanooga Red Wolves, you're not going to get as many opportunities, but keep your shape defensively. Don't get leaky. Make sure to mark and try and get Bentley especially out on the run. The counter has looked dangerous at times for Red Wolves tonight.
Hernandez slots it through, but it's cleared. Again, Ken Levica, Maura Sheridan, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. It's been an exciting game so far. Interested to see what this second half has in store. It was Hernandez, that being Omar Hernandez, to score the first goal in the 7th minute for the Red Wolves. Easily could have gotten out of hand as Bentley whips it across. No one on the end of that. Counter chance for Chattanooga FC. Antolin was the option, ends up in the stands. Well, the equalizer was found by Chattanooga FC. Mangarov on a set piece. And that happened in the 19th minute. Chattanooga FC responded well to giving up that early strike.
Chattanooga Red Wolves, they're going to be okay living in their defensive end for a while. You're going to have to weather the storm. Chattanooga FC, it's just the laws of this match are going to be on the ball more because that's their style. Just keep your shape if you're Chattanooga Red Wolves and operate from there. But this large crowd, it is going to have an effect. There are going to be emotions that maybe get a bit unchecked. You've got to keep your composure. This Chattanooga Red Wolves side, they are not the complete package from what you anticipate, maybe thanks to some signings they're going to be come May or June. But for now, this is what you're working with, a lack of depth. You've just got to communicate and keep things locked in. It's been fairly clean from them to this point.
Well, this is where that redesigned defensive unit here in 2025 will surely be tested. Garvanyan gave it his best shot, but ultimately out of play.
There's been some nasty collisions with the turf here tonight. Cleats getting caught, knees getting stuck to the turf, and bodies twisting. That was not pretty from Garvanyan. And he's up and he's walking, but man, that was a nasty spill.
Oh, perhaps a little slick with the early spell of rain that we saw in this match. Anselin. Centrally, Watson to Anselin. He's onside. Really muscled off the ball.
If you're Declan Waters, you can't be heading the ball to the middle in your defensive third and thinking that something good is going to come out of that. That almost turned into a really dangerous opportunity for Chattanooga FC.
Kohler, Sarsar. Sarsar is playing on a yellow after he was very upset at the tail end of that first half. A goal was called back because of a foul on a set piece against Chattanooga FC. They had scored. Luis Jean, Garvanyan. Off the spin, plays it behind to Kohler. His second start with the club.
So unless I've deciphered incorrectly, Maura, that is 2 yellows for dissent for Chattanooga FC if there are 3 in the opening half.
A dicey moment there on the turnover. Can the Red Wolves take advantage? Bentley, play on.
That was well done by Farid Sarsar. He's been right place, right time a couple of times defensively tonight.
Garvanyan, switching the point of attack, a weak side ball. Dealt with Ayambila. Robertson on the throw. Watson, quick touch. Mendanza. And that's flung back to the Red Wolves. Hernandez stopped. Ramos. Kinsner, with some contact, the midfield line. Bentley goes down. Well, he's done well at drawing some contact in this game, earning his team possession back.
Yeah, you have to always account for him, and then if he's on the ball, it makes you nervous because he has such a quick turn, and he's going to outrun the vast majority of the athletes on this pitch, so you got to get up into him, but he's really good at selling contact. And that presents the quandary for the defender. Do you challenge him and know he's going to be on the turf and earn himself a whistle? Or do you take your chances and see if you can get into a foot race with him? You better have the right angle and know which way he's going if you're going to choose that latter option.
Well, Ramos being pushed back. Some confusion on where this free kick will take place.
We're all over the board here.
Omar Hernandez to Pedro Hernandez. Now to Ramos, the 24-year-old, surveys, takes off. Motors up the flank, takes a couple of bumps. And things getting physical in the corner.
So the referee calls it on Mangarov, and he's upset. At the tail end of the play, I don't think that's where the foul should have been called. Mangarov got a fistful of Joshua Ramos' shirt as Ramos tried to streak up the near touchline. Initially, that's where the foul took place. The referee eventually got it right, but I don't think he got it at the correct moment of the sequence. But a rightful free kick nonetheless.
The Red Wolves looking to regain the lead in this game at Finley Stadium. Bend towards the back post, and it's too high.
I appreciate the effort. I don't think that was the intention, but I appreciate the effort from the first half goal scorer, Omar Hernandez.
We've seen a set-piece clinic, I would say, in this game.
Yes.
Combined. Watson dribbles into space. Garvanyan.
I bet both managers would agree. It would be hard-pressed to find from either of these sides the rest of the year set pieces as beautiful as the ones that have been pulled off tonight.
Anselin called for that as he pushes a center back. For Chattanooga FC, this is the first full season too under Chris Nugent, longtime assistant with this club. Took over as an interim at the tail end of last year. But I'm sure it's nice that he can make this his team.
He said the biggest difference for him is that when you're an assistant, you can propose an idea or a game plan. Well, that is a nasty challenge from Walefi, and he's lucky that there's probably not a reach to the pocket there. But one of the biggest, the most stark difference is when you're the boss and you take the considerations of your assistants, you're the one making the final decision, so if something goes wrong, it is on you. But he's done a nice job so far. They had a really positive offseason trying to improve on a roster that finished even final playoff spot in the table last season, MLS Next Pro, but because of lack of wins, lost the tiebreaker.
That's a devastating way to not make the postseason. Probably adds to some hunger for this Chattanooga FC team, the players that returned in 2025.
Both these sides faded down the stretch last year. In July, 4 straight losses for Chattanooga FC. That was the time of the year where you look back and you wonder what could have been. Then for Chattanooga Red Wolves, they had a win at eventual champion Union Omaha, match day 12, and then didn't win again. The final 12 matches of the season only had 2 draws, only 2 results of those 12 matches. So they're looking to completely erase everything that happened from about July on last year.
Now John Hope, 10 minutes in to this second half. From Largo, Florida, this is his second appearance with the Red Wolves. Anselin taking on 2 defenders.
That's just Anselin wanting that 50-50 ball more. Toby John Hope made a bit of a mess out of that. And it's not going to hurt Chattanooga Red Wolves, but that's the type of sequence as we get further and further into this match against a deeper Chattanooga FC side. You can't be indecisive like that. You've got to make sure in open space 1v1 you're winning balls like that.
Robertson. And before that, a whistle. Oh, it's Bentley again. Just gets the call for his side.
Every goal all season, the Desires Korean Steakhouse. Away dinner for 2. Enter to win by scanning the QR code now or after every goal. Be sure to scan the QR code on the signage.
Hernandez
Scan the code on the video board.
slides that through to Bentley.
All
Robertson can't clear. Bentley in control, but gives it away. Luis Jean. Brown stretching for it. And he knocked into Hernandez in the process. Brown again lunges in the 18, touchback. That's a dangerous moment. Jakupovic ends up with possession though.
That got a little bit frightening for Chattanooga FC. That was played back to the keeper, but a hard-charging Michael Knapp suddenly turned on his 40 time and was in the face of Eldon Jakupovic. Those, like we were talking about Chattanooga Red Wolves' decisiveness, you've got to be cleaner in that spot. Chattanooga Red Wolves on the attack doesn't have many ideas right now. Do not gift wrap.
Played long. Garvanyan ripped down and keeps going. Going at it with Ramos.
That was pretty slick from Ramos. I'm not sure I've seen a player head the ball and then clear himself space because of that off of a one-hop on the turf in an awful long time. That was creative. There have been some flashes of individual brilliance tonight from both sides and in front of this large, massive crowd in the U.S. Open Cup. Gotta love that.
We gotta put on a show
Yes.
with a crowd this large. And most of these fans have not taken a seat this entire match. Nap. Walefi. Ramos. Into the 18, Hernandez shoots. And it's cleared out. Chattanooga FC and Sarsar getting a piece of that one.
All right, that was dangerous. Pedro Hernandez, as he wound it up right side of the area. That's one of those balls that usually takes a deflection right onto the foot of another attacker. Bentley was lurking, but once again, Farid Sarsar, really good feel for this match. He's got really good soccer IQ, and he was there to clear it away.
Those types of combinations and runs, the Red Wolves can really build off of if they can get more moving forward in this match to try to take the lead back. Vendanza. Watson. Luis Jean. Mangarov, the goal scorer. Heel pass, back to him, and it's just a little bit in front.
Mangarov started to make a horizontal run and then cut it off. If he keeps going, that's probably placed right on his foot with a chance to attack goal.
Entering the game is number 40, Al-Hassan. Leaving the game is number 17.
Oh, here's a sub. Hernandez for Chattanooga Red Wolves, who scored the first and only goal, exits. Al-Hassan is the change. This is the second appearance for Al-Hassan. Offside against Chattanooga FC.
Chattanooga Red Wolves brought in Al-Hassan along with Zar Vasquez back on March the 28th. They went into the USL League campaign with massive concerns depth-wise, and that's why, as we discussed earlier, this roster is certainly not a finished product. There is still a lot of work to do to build up depth, especially in the attack, but that has at least helped alleviate some of the issues with league play and U.S. Open Cup if they are able to progress through this evening. And don't forget, you've got USL League One Jägermeister Cup play that gets underway in a few weeks' time as well, so you need more capable bodies to help rotate through, and Al-Hassan was one of the big signings to help that cause.
Yeah, a member of the Ghana U20 national team. Another card coming out, this against Pedro Hernandez. He's going to argue his case with Clark, our center official.
We'll see as Pedro Hernandez just got a little bit too handsy on the back of Nathan Kohler, and then the contact with the feet. And the referee saw enough, and the first yellow is shown tonight, or second yellow, I should say, to Chattanooga Red Wolves.
Oh, the other player on a yellow, Ayamila.
5 yellows just past the hour mark. This is a proper derby, I would say.
Honestly, less than what I expected.
The way things were trending in the first half, certainly.
Chattanooga FC. Watson, it's a nice leading ball. Robertson looking for a cross, deflected out. It's not quite a corner for Chattanooga FC. A burst of speed from Robertson. And Danza. Oh, Red Wolves looking for a call. They're not going to get it. It's a free kick instead for the home side.
There is some big league grinding happening right now between these two sides. Everybody fighting 100% full go for every ball. You absolutely have to love to see it, and you'll see at the top of the screen as well. Not a single soul is sitting. It is hard not to be romantic about this setting right now in Chattanooga between these two sides in this community, in this tournament.
Robertson discussing how to proceed on this free kick, the set piece opportunity for Chattanooga FC. Their 10th year in the Open Cup. Off the service, Sarsar shoots, denied! Jerez, what a stop!
That might not look at like this in real time, but the degree of difficulty on this save was extreme. This chance came out of nowhere. Jerez is trying to peek through traffic, and then suddenly Sarsar sends a shot to the near post, and Jerez, again flat-footed, has to go full horizontal to get his right hand out and make the save. What an exceptional piece of goalkeeping to make it 1-1 still.
It's a corner, though, for Chattanooga FC. Immediately headed away. Yeah, that hit Anselin and then just landed for the captain, Sarsar. What a chance for Chattanooga FC. Jerez says no.
That would have been the rare backside assist if Sarsar was able to plant that. I mean, Jerez, you cannot overstate how good a job he did to make his body react in enough time to make that save. A little more pace and it probably gets by him, but there was enough on that shot to beat him, and his reaction time was exemplary.
Kohler. Walefi. Well, the stadium has been divided. Blue and red. Both sides have had a lot to cheer about. We are level 1-1. Chattanooga Derby, the first ever, and it's a survive and advance situation. We must have a winner in this game. And the winner moves on to the third round of the US Open Cup. Looks like Brown is down for Chattanooga FC. And that's why we will stop play.
You just wonder, regardless of the result here tonight, seeing what this has meant to the community and how many have come out for this match, and the build-up to this, the emotion, the opinions, if maybe even a friendly, you start seeing that schedule between the two sides. Now, I know there's a rift between the two organizations that maybe cannot be traversed it can't be filled in, you're not able to cross that, and fine. But in my belief, I think you try to make an effort. Now, and we won't go too deep into it, one side would prefer that to happen way more than another side of these two teams, but I think it would be really, really great for the city for their two professional clubs to meet on a calendar year basis and not have to wait for a possible intersection to come in the U.S. Open Cup.
There's something really special about this environment in particular. You think about other cities that have two professional soccer clubs, New York, LA. There's a lot of other pro teams in that area. This is it.
Right.
It's been something to behold. Both of these teams, too, want to end this in regulation when you consider the fact that they have to go back to league play this weekend. These final 20-ish minutes are about to get a little bit chaotic.
And what's so rare about the two-team situation in this town is that this is not a traditional MLS Next Pro side. You aren't funneling players every weekend to the first division club. They are here, they become ingrained in the community. That matters.
So Brown's gonna have to come out. Anselin also comes out for Chattanooga FC. Marcus Naglastak comes in. He's gonna get a lot of applause. He'll replace Anselin. And then Ethan Dudley enters the game for Chattanooga FC. Naglastak has been a staple with this team across two stints. He was a part of the NISA team, 2021 to 2023. He scored 58 goals in that stretch, so I think it's fair to say he's a fan favorite. Oh, here come the Red Wolves. That one just wide on an opportunity.
Al-Hassan's eyes got super wide on that giveaway. He had a red carpet into the area. That's pushed through. He's able to head around the defender, and he just hit it off the wrong part of his foot. He was aiming for the back post and hit an outswinger instead of an in-swinger, and he immediately went to ground in despair.
He's the lone change that we've seen for the Red Wolves, although it looks like two players are walking and getting ready to sub in. To go. Red Wolves will make these changes now. Zaire Vasquez in. Omar Gomez in. Ramos out. Walefi out. Two changes for the Red Wolves.
Trying to get some fresh, quicker legs in. Chattanooga Red Wolves and second-year manager Scott McKenzie. With these two sides hunting goals, 1-1 scoreline. This is no longer a match for Walefi. Both teams, in fact, their last series of substitutions, trying to make themselves a bit more athletic and more dangerous up the flanks.
Al-Hassan moves it to the left. Defenders swarm. Bentley, not squared, tries to, but it's ripped away. Luis Jean does well there. Robertson. Luis Jean links up. This is the sub, Ethan Dudley. Jean. Robertson. Well, however this plays out, I think we're setting the loser up for some devastation because it's either going to be a late regulation goal, an extra time goal, or penalties.
Yep, I completely agree. Yeah, we've seen the U.S. Open Cup. It can trigger quite a momentum shift in a positive way, but also from a negative perspective as well. But these two sides have played this as a proper rivalry match. There has been no love lost. This has been as advertised, and there is still everything to play for in this knockout showdown.
Knapp out of play. Watson on the throw, working quickly. Naglestad. 100 appearances with the club, tries a cross, and it deflected off a defender to the 33-year-old. A corner now for Chattanooga FC.
Naglestad had the late magic in the 1-0 triumph over Corpus Christi. First round of this tournament, 90+12 is when he connected. And now he's brought on his veteran experience, his nose for goal.
It continues to be Robertson on these set pieces. Off the delivery. On its way to the back post. Sarsar's there. Heads it. But cleared by Knapp.
I think Chattanooga Red Wolves is content, much like they were the opening 5, 6, 7 minutes of this second half, to play a little bit in their defensive end, put bodies into the box, cut off passing lanes, make sure everything's compact, and just try to find a way to hit on the run.
Watson and Knapp. Those two battling it out. Knapp, Watson trying to get some revenge. Excuse me, that's Mangarov.
That sequence from Knapp, that was all man stuff right there. He took on all comers. He was knocked about, almost knocked down, and won the ball.
Oh, weaving through. Alisson goes for it from distance. Akupovic just going to reset, settle the team down a little bit. Oh, Alisson has not been afraid to rip a shot.
You know what? I don't mind it. I like it. You have the ball at your feet. He wants to be the man who carries his side, carries the weight, so be it. Launch away, put it on goal. But that speaks exactly to what we were just discussing. Chattanooga Red Wolves, stay compact in your defensive half and try and wait until a gift is delivered to you. And look, Chattanooga FC has looked a little bit shaky over the last minute and a half or so. Pressure mounts, you never know what's going to happen.
Sometimes patience pays off.
It's okay to settle in on the back foot for portions of a match, especially around this juncture, as long as you don't lose concentration. And you have the ability to go back on the front foot, which I think Chattanooga Red Wolves does once we get through, oh, I don't know, 81st, 82nd minute or so.
Kohler, Bentley hanging all over him. Watson, Robertson. Guarded tightly by Knapp. There's nowhere to go for Robertson. Finally some space. Dudley, Luis Jean, Garvanyan. Moves it centrally, Luis Jean. Flings it up. Watson keeps it in on a cross. Harris cuts it off.
I think Harris took a knock to the back of the head, an inadvertent heel. He has taken a beating on that 39-year-old body tonight. Good build-up here from Chattanooga FC, despite the good shape. A fairly dangerous cross delivered in by Chattanooga FC. Now it's Mangaroff who delivered it, and now Jerez simply delivered the ball across the touchline, and now he's going to need medical attention again.
Well, it's the second time tonight he went to try to stop a shot that slammed off the post from Robertson, and when he fell right into the goal, and it was a very awkward landing.
I heard some boos here at Finley, and I understand that the natural reaction is, oh, he's just embellishing, he's trying to waste some time, but he clearly took a boot to the head. So again, you see Mangaroff get on the end of this ball near the touchline. Here's the delivery, and then there you see the contact with the back of the head, and it might have even been some friendly fire.
Jerez still clutching the back of his head. It's worth noting, this is the final attendance number, 12,000 plus today at Finley Stadium. It's the fourth largest attendance in Chattanooga FC club history, which is incredible to think about as a club, what they've created.
What a monumental evening, what an achievement, what an accomplishment, and what a look it is on the city of Chattanooga and the passion for this sport that this area has. It is a perfect advertisement for the U.S. Open Cup. This does not happen if not for the U.S. Open Cup. And the opportunities it unlocks, the storylines it attracts, the uniqueness of it all. Case in point tonight here at Finley Stadium in Chattanooga.
Well, both of these teams obviously playing for pride, but also playing to move on to the third round of the Open Cup. USL Championship teams will enter the fray, and it's an opportunity for a cup set moving forward. The draw tomorrow on CBS Golazo at 1 p.m. So whoever wins will know their fate tomorrow afternoon. Ayambila blazing up the flank. Makes an underlapping run. Hernandez goes for goal, and it sails over the crossbar.
I think some legs are getting a bit heavy. Pedro Hernandez has been out there all 81 minutes to this point. Mishit that badly. It certainly looked like Alhassan was looking for room to just unleash his shot from about 30 yards. But now suddenly, look at the pressure Red Wolves putting on.
John Hope keeps going. Garvanyan. Naglasta. That's Red Wolves possession here.
Toby John Hope at the bottom of your screen for Chattanooga Red Wolves is absolutely exhausted. And here he goes down. And I think that he may be experiencing some cramping based on where he's gripping at his calf area.
Yeah, John Hope's coming off a game in which he played 89 minutes against Charlotte. It's a lot, these midweek games in Open Cup, when you consider this game's been physical, it's been intense. Like I said, cramping up potentially. But Mackenzie can talk to his side. He's having a word with Waters. Owen Green, potentially the option to come in here and replace John Hope. And John Hope limping off the pitch right now. Looks very uncomfortable.
And Owen Green was not warming up. So this was unplanned. And so here comes Owen Green onto the pitch. In the first round matchup against New Jersey Alliance, I should say, in that 2-2 full-time score line, and Chattanooga Red Wolves won it in penalties. Both New Jersey goals happened because of indecision and shakiness in marking from Owen Green. He cannot have the same types of lapses he did in New Jersey just a couple of weeks ago, or it's going to spell big problems for his team. He's coming in a big moment after a less than stellar outing in the opening round.
Red Wolves had that game wrapped up and gave up a goal in stoppage time of the second half to Alliance. It pushed it all the way to penalties. Knapp, Bentley. Kohler's on his back. On the swing now, Hernandez, and it takes a hop out of play. Everyone stood up on this Red Wolves side.
Hernandez doesn't have much spring left. He is laboring to get up to full speed. That ball in the corner, he would have collected it 25, 30 minutes ago, certainly in the first half. He's trying to fight through it as Red Wolves supporters go full throat on the near side.
Hernandez in his 4th year with this Red Wolves squad. Don't see that a lot in League One, that consistency. A lot to dance about for these Red Wolves fans in the attacking third. Into the 18. Waters. Not even a corner. But it will stay with the Red Wolves.
Right idea for Declan Waters. Good positioning defensively.
From the Red Wolves, Al-Hassan is sprinting in. Doesn't put that one towards goal. Too quick for Chattanooga FC.
I like the idea. Any advantage you can try to get yourself here late.
Oh, Jakubovic, he's been in these big moments. He's played for LAFC, for Everton. Very experienced goalkeeper. Garvanyan. Oh, an obvious trip. Dudley goes down. He's still in some pain. Chattanooga FC looking to make a pair of changes. Looks like Robert Screen and Menje Kwok. Those two players enter. Garvanyan out. Watson out. Screen has played 18 minutes total in the MLS Next Pro season. Kwok is in the regular rotation. He's made 2 starts this year for Chattanooga FC. Luis Jean, Dudley, Shuffles. Kwok, his first touches of the match. Coming in at the tail end. Can we see some late game heroics in the US Open Cup? This 1-1 score has been the score since the 19th minute.
Red Wolves have been so sound defensively, really not allowing a whole lot of threats here. Last 8 to 10 minutes for Chattanooga FC. In the second half, as Chattanooga FC had their opportunities, sure, but for the most part, Red Wolves have really done a nice job of making life difficult. They're just so, and I know it's early in 2025, but they're so vastly improved defensively, just with the system, the effort, the execution than they were really at any point last year.
Nagosta reaching for it. Kwok. Mangarov. Hernandez sticks a leg out, and it's just a throw.
It's an unbelievable defensive play. 99 times out of 100, that's a corner.
Mangarov, bit of a light pass, still stays with Chattanooga FC, although it's deflected behind. Kohler. Robertson. Robertson. Nagosta racing to. Is beat out there by the defense in Kinsner. Nagosta does have fresh legs. Kwok just came in as a sub. Shoes trying to tuck it in the corner, and he's wide.
Kwok had a little bit of a window. And because Chattanooga Red Wolves have been so sound on the defensive side, those are the opportunities, low percentage chance of converting that look appetizing because you just have the smallest amount of space to unleash a shot. That's when you know you've done a good job defensively, when a solid attacking side has to settle for something like that.
Kwok. Mangarov tumbles down. And Chattanooga FC will keep it.
I don't get that from Owen Green. I don't know why. We'll take a look at this again. There was no need to, even if you got beaten, you took a bad line, reach out and grab like that. You had reinforcements. And instead, you're going to allow Chattanooga FC, who have run out of any sort of ideas, to send a ball into the box.
We are into stoppage time in this second half. Robertson, he's creating room, breaks that wall down. Curled up, header back in, Sarsar's there, and it's Jerez, dives on it.
There wasn't a ton of danger involved in that, and all Jerez had to do was read the ball off the head. He was going to have right of way to that ball. Any contact, and he would have gotten the benefit of the whistle.
All the way down to the other side here for the Red Wolves. Hernandez. The mark on that one, but here comes a corner.
For Red Wolves, you just have an opportunity to unleash a shot, do it. You're the inferior attacking side, and it leads to a corner in a pivotal moment here in added time. Not a single soul has left this place.
Well, this side, this Red Wolf side, getting extra loud. We are in stoppage time. U.S. Open Cup, it's still 1-1. And Clark, our official, going to blow the whistle. A couple players in the mix getting warnings. Looks like Waters is one of them. On the delivery, too strong of a header. It was off of Hernandez.
That was a good near post delivery. Hernandez tried to glance it off of his left temple, but instead it got all of his forehead and launched 15 feet into the air and up into the balcony area behind goal.
Well, just about 2 minutes left to end this in regulation for either Chattanooga FC or the Chattanooga Red Wolves. 12,000 plus in attendance at Finley Stadium. And perhaps we have a hero in our midst that we haven't quite discovered. Luis Jean, screen, Mangorov. He still has a lot of energy for someone that's been playing this entire time. He's drawn a lot of fouls in this second half. Robertson, screen, calling for it. And it's poked away. Knapp does well there. Screen, fights, fouls as well. And things getting a little testy late. Mangorov in the mix, pushing and shoving.
Hey, he's got to get control. I don't understand what Chattanooga Red Wolves is doing here. Why would you even threaten? You've got heads being grabbed, back of necks being grabbed. There's no reason for that. I cannot understand what would be possessing Declan Waters to come up and grabbing someone by the back of the neck and threatening a yellow, or even worse, in a spot like this, especially after Chattanooga Red Wolves went down a man in the 36th minute in the opening round and had to pay the consequences for that. Why go to that extreme? There's no reason for it.
Well, we'll see what Clark decides here. This is an interesting moment. See if there's any cards that come out. It seemed like something that will have to come out.
And if I'm not mistaken, Maury, it was Michael Knapp who initially took exception and started the fracas. I don't understand why Chattanooga Red Wolves at this juncture, in this moment, you're about to force added time, why you're even putting yourself in this position. So double yellows, both 16s get it. And so Mangorov for Chattanooga FC, he gets yellow.
And Gomez as well. And Harris gets a yellow for Chattanooga. You know what was interesting, that whole moment, Jakupovic, the keeper for Chattanooga FC, he looked like the one that actually calmed Waters down.
Yeah, he diffused it, yeah. All I know is that Declan Waters, he's too good a player, too important a player to be doing that at this juncture.
And if we do indeed head to extra time, I think everybody's lucky that there was no red card shown in that moment. I think we're understanding how much this means to both of these clubs. And there's the whistle to end regulation. It's still 1-1. Extra time coming for the Chattanooga Red Wolves and Chattanooga FC.
This is an absolute grinder. This is not for the weak of heart. We have seen that now as things have gone full extracurricular physical. And this going in, we thought was going to be a special night. And now we head to extra time and the drama gets larger.
It is certainly a dramatic night here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We will take a break and we'll come back for extra time here in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup second round.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's attendance, 12,131. Thank you for your support.
Well, there's too much on the line in this game to decide it in 90 minutes. We are headed to extra time in Lamar Hunt US Open Cup second round. It's a Chattanooga derby. It's 1-1. Chattanooga FC, Chattanooga Red Wolves. The first time in club history that these two teams have ever met, and it's living up to the hype.
And Maura, it was a long time ago when we saw Bentley for Chattanooga Red Wolves inside the opening 6 minutes draw a foul free kick, and look at that placement. Omar Hernandez, as beautiful as you'd like. His left foot spectacular, and it was 1-0 right off the jump. But Chattanooga FC didn't take long for a free kick banger of their own. Look at the curler, near post. Daniel Mangarov makes it 1-1. Now in the second half, we didn't have any scoring, but we almost did. What a save, ranging to his right. Ricardo Jerez able to rob Farid Sarsar, who saw the ball fall to his feet, and we head to extra time.
These are the extra time rules. 2 15-minute periods will be played, 1 additional sub, and there's no golden goal, so that's just important to note. Someone scores, game's not over. We could head to penalties if we conclude the 2 15-minute periods and don't have a winner. Both of these teams played extra time in their first round matches, so this is not new territory. And we're underway in extra time. Chattanooga Red Wolves, Chattanooga FC. I think I've said Chattanooga more times than I ever will.
You have done a superb job of saying it about 700 times with minimal flubs.
Ken Levicka, Morris Sheridan, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. What a special night. I think one that will live on US Open Cup history.
Well, the hero of extra time, 90+12 in the first round, Naglistum.
Bentley shoots! Saved!
Against Corpus Christi, he's on the pitch, as is the hero from the opening round for Chattanooga Red Wolves, Bentley, and he almost gave his side a 2-1 advantage. A beautiful kick save off the right foot of the veteran keeper, Jakupovic.
We've seen both of these keepers show up in big moments of this game. Jakupovic, point blank on that one. Stops Bentley, the leading scorer for this Chattanooga Red Wolves side. And it's launched back up to Bentley. It's got some new life taking on Kohler. He slides down in the 18, no call. And now the defender is down for Chattanooga FC. It's Kohler looking to stretch it out.
Bentley was full throttle, and he was appealing for a foul, for a whistle, but he had already started going to ground. From the referee's vantage point, he's not going to blow the whistle in that spot. A little bit of contact, but at the edge of the area, 50-50 ball, 1v1 at this juncture of the match. You're going to let two players battle it out as long as there's no grabbing. That is a rightful play on.
Well, we've seen 3 shots on target in this game for both sides. Trending back screen. It's looking to make some noise there, and it's headed away by Kinsner. Or excuse me, headed away by, no, Kinsner. Trust my gut there.
Perez needs to communicate a bit better in that spot. You had one attacker lurking, but you can't leave your defender out on an island without any instruction of what to do. That's a needless corner to concede.
Now on the set piece, Chattanooga FC. And once again, Clark having to break things up. We saw a scrum at the tail end of the second half. 2 yellow cards given out. Could have been worse. Got quite testy. The Red Wolves are all motioning for something at the top of the box. Launched towards the back post, off the header, not on frame. Out for Gomez.
Now, whatever it was, and I believe the Chattanooga FC had a trailer on that set piece. It was marked well.
Kwok. Luis Jean. Sarsar. Sarsar has actually had a couple of decent opportunities off of set pieces for Chattanooga FC to find what could potentially have been the game winner his first 90 minutes. Calling for it back, he makes a run. Off of the back of screen.
Chattanooga Red Wolves has successfully taken the cohesion out of the Chattanooga FC attack. Chattanooga FC has done the job discombobulating any sort of fluid attack of Chattanooga Red Wolves. Just wonder if there's a goal to be had in extra time.
Vasquez. It's Kwok who hits that out. And a corner kick for the Red Wolves. I think with tired legs, these set pieces, these corners, that's going to be a great opportunity for both of these teams.
This is probably the way, unless run of play, something comes out of nowhere, this is going to be the way that this draw gets unlocked.
Allison, who came in and took multiple shots, steps back to deliver. Off the corner, near post. Bentley tries to corral, has some trouble. And it's pushed out. Served up for the Red Wolves. Allison. Moves to the corner, whips in across, and it's out of play.
I didn't quite understand the thinking on the corner. You're just putting Bentley in a tough spot if you think that he's going to be able to control that corner with a lot of pace, turn, fire, or even distribute with his back to goal. Unless that was a mishit from the far side, which it very well could have been as well. Now this is the thing, Maura. We have found this point in the match where it's late, it is tight, nerves have taken effect, and this thing has gone into the mud. It is grimy, it is nasty out there, and there is very little room to operate. And that's why, as you pointed out, avoiding gifting a set piece is going to be of the utmost performance, because I'm not sure that anybody's going to be able to strike run of play here.
Yeah, both these teams risk adverse at this moment, trying to protect themselves in extra time. Sarsar. Kwok. The first 20 minutes saw both goals scored in this game. Hernandez in the 7th. And then Mangarov in the 19th. Hernandez is out of this game. Mangarov remains for Chattanooga FC. Knapp looking to pounce on it. And a bit of a stiff arm there. Naglestad looking for Screen, who is streaking up the middle. Played into space. Mangarov. Naglestad looks to turn off his left foot, shoots, and he's wide.
Naglestad putting years and years of professional experience on display, though. Man, that was an unbelievable sequence from Marcus Naglestad. He wanted the ball more. You mentioned the stiff arm. He put his body into Knapp, won that ball, headed to his left, was able to control through traffic, eventually made a turn, got a shot off. He would have liked more pace, but man, that is why you have him on at this moment, because he has the guile to at least put himself in an advantageous position to threaten goal.
Yeah, the Norwegian international means so much to this club. Hernandez. Mbila. And Alhassan goes down.
Alhassan, even when things don't go his way, he is so fun to watch because quite literal, everything he does, whether it is collecting a long ball or it's simply controlling within a 5 or 6 foot area or delivering a cross or finding a window to shoot from 27 yards out, he does it with 100% effort and 0 to 100. There is no mid-speed with him. He's not coasting at all.
Kwok showing off his pace, but Waters stalls him.
Got to be careful here if you're Chattanooga Red Wolves. You can feel the pitch starting to tilt a little bit here to the home side.
Luis Jean. Kohler. Sarsar. Dudley. Kwok. Lifts. Headed away by Waters. Out for the Red Wolves. On the attack now. Hernandez. That's intercepted by Dudley.
The 12,000 plus attendance number here tonight, Maura, it's the second biggest round 2 US Open Cup crowd in the history of the tournament. The only one larger was FC Cincinnati back in 2017. What an accomplishment here tonight. Historic.
It truly is. And this game has been so competitive. Exactly what you would want as well. 2 teams at the same level here in US soccer, just going at it. Knapp. A card is coming out. It's against the Red Wolves.
A lot of jostling here. Fight for the ball, and Knapp came in late, but I think they're actually, it's not Knapp who got shown the card.
It looked like it was Owen Green,
yeah.
Because he stuck a leg out.
Yep. Now Knapp probably could have earned a yellow in that spot, but Green caught the attention of the referee on the back end, and that's a rightful card. That was reckless.
Well, quite a few players have yellows in this game. Just something to keep an eye out. Mangarov. Perez. The keeper the other way. Alhassan. Well, shake and bake there, loses defender. And Luis Jean had seen enough of that.
I will watch Alhassan do anything. Make eggs, anything soccer-wise. I mean, he is just full excitement at every juncture.
Well, it's exactly what you would want from a sub to just ignite this Red Wolves team.
I mean, this guy is fearless.
Well, he earned the call as well. Sub coming in for Chattanooga FC. Ibarra comes in, that's Jesus Ibarra Kohler, who had been potentially cramping up. He comes out. Ibarra's been with the club since 2023. It's tough to come in as a defensive sub this late into a match.
Yeah, no doubt. You've got to acclimate yourself quickly.
On the throw. And a foul in the 18. Jakubovic. Kwak. Hernandez ends up leaving it for Green.
Well, we're at the point of this match, Mara, where already there were going to be stories told about these two teams facing off against one another for the first time, and the gigantic crowd at 12,000 plus. But now we're getting into the portion of the match, and we have been for a little bit now, where there are going to be tales told of where you were when X player scored for X team. This is going to be a legendary night for one side and heartbreak for the other.
Alisson skies that one. What a chance. Did it take a deflection? That's a call.
It is a corner. That would have been one heck of a rocket shot for it not to have taken a deflection. I think Al Hassan, his touch took too long for him to collect himself. If he would have just unleashed it, he might have been better off. He lost his window.
Alisson off the corner. Knapp has some time. The closing in was Robertson. Robertson and Knapp. And it's a foul on Knapp. Chattanooga FC will keep it here. We approach the end of this first period in extra time, and there's the whistle. So we still have 15 minutes left in extra time, but it's still 1-1 in this Chattanooga derby.
It is really, really, really difficult to find any sustained attack right now between these two sides. Yes, we've seen a full complement of substitutions, but there is physicality, and there is the added element of pressure in addition to fatigue at this point. I don't think, though, either side is playing for penalties. It still looks like both sides are looking to try and find a game-winning goal, but again, it is very hard to string anything together because this has really turned into a rugby match.
Short break, and then we'll finish out extra time on the other side. ready to start the second half of extra time. Chattanooga FC, Chattanooga Red Wolves, it's 1-1. We have to have a winner in this game. It's the US Open Cup, and the winner moves on to the third round. So whether we decide now or in penalties, in the next 20-ish minutes, I think we'll know who's moving on to the third round. Well, one more sub for Chattanooga FC. It's Robertson who's out. Plowman comes in. That's Peter Plowman. He has no Next Pro appearances this year for Chattanooga. Bentley.
Well, the name of the game here, Mar, is keep your head. If anything, don't put yourself in a high-risk situation.
Kwok, right to Knapp. Bentley spins. Plays it behind to Green. Now Gomez. Hernandez. Don't think he intended to hit that off of Gomez, but he did. Luis Jean. Blocked. Red Wolves trying to keep it in the attacking third. It's a foul. Mangarov, the one called for it.
So now it'll be Chattanooga Red Wolves with the first opportunity of this second session of extra time. And it's no surprise who's going to be taking this, whipping it in, or at least is in the discussion.
Vasquez calls Alisson off, but it's Alisson who ultimately takes it. He bends it towards the back post, skims off a couple heads. Still in the final third for the Red Wolves. Alisson again sprinting in, hangs up there. Diambila. Chattanooga FC attempting to get some momentum. Dudley. Mangarov. Sarsar.
Potentially looking ahead to penalties here. And of the 4 penalty takers that helped clinch Chattanooga Red Wolves' win against New Jersey Alliance, 2 of them not in the match currently. Walefi subbed off in the second half, and then Jason Smith, who's available but who is not subbed in. He was the second penalty taker, making the 3rd penalty taker for Chattanooga Red Wolves in the opening round. So Bentley and Owen Green currently in the match, but the 2 others who went to the spot not in the match. And so that will change up who trots out there for Scott McKenzie if it gets to that point.
Well, Smith is the backup keeper in this game, so we'll see if that's a change they make. Off the cross from screen. It's a corner. Chattanooga FC. Those kids think it's a souvenir. Actually throw it back. Everyone's fighting for who gets to throw it back. That is how intense this game is and meaningful it is to the city of Chattanooga. We are in the second half of extra time. It's not golden goal, but it feels like if somebody scores here, that will be the dagger. The home side, Chattanooga FC, on this set piece. And no one on the end of that as it lands on the far post.
Well marked there by Chattanooga Red Wolves. From a set piece perspective, Chattanooga FC just has not had a lot of options here tonight.
Well, they've also taken Robertson out, who was the player that took all of the set pieces up until that moment.
Yeah. And that means something, having your most dependable deliverer of the ball
Ellison, he creates contact.
Red Wolves is contentious, sending long balls forward and then forcing Chattanooga FC to make a decision. That's the second foul called on the border of the attacking third here in this second portion of extra time. Red Wolves seem content that Chattanooga FC is too aggressive and they're at least going to be put in a spot to deliver a set piece.
A meeting. Ellison. Green is there as well, but I think we know who's going to take this. Ellison has shown his power in this game. A little trickery. It's actually Green. Looking for a second ball. Played high. In the area, Waters. An aerial duel, and it's a goal kick.
Well, right idea after the set piece was cleared away to try and reset yourself and deliver another long ball in, but it's just what we were speaking about. That's the name of the game now for Red Wolves. Long balls, put it up top, try for a 50-50, see if Chattanooga FC is going to make a mistake, and quite honestly, it's not a bad strategy. Is it beautiful? No, but is it keeping Chattanooga Red Wolves threatening? Yes, and it's keeping Chattanooga FC out of the attacking half.
Hernandez. Naglasa on the ball now. Muscled away. Ibarra then fouls too as he's beat by Green, and a yellow card comes out. It's against Ibarra.
Chattanooga Red Wolves in the closing moments, they're winning every ball. Lamar just out of desperation because all of a sudden down that right wing a 3-on-2 is developing.
Ellison. Just a couple steps in front of that mid-line. We are in extra time. Ellison off his right foot. Still chops up. From Gomez to Ellison. Momentum forward. Ellison shoots. Trying to tuck that in the corner. Akapovic.
Just was anybody going to come up and try and challenge Ellison? Because, listen, he's already shown he has no problem dribbling from anywhere. And sure, he had it on his left foot. That's not his dominant foot, but he had a clear path to deliver.
That's probably the least amount of power that we've seen him take a shot so far in this game. And I would say Chattanooga FC is lucky for that.
And it's fine if you want to make sure he just keeps it on his left foot, but at some point you've got to step up and at least close out the distance because you allowed him to dribble all the way to the D before he unleashed that shot.
Well, it's a free kick for Chattanooga FC. Kwaka, a final word with Screen and company. Off the layoff. Driving. A shot from distance. And it's well wide.
Extremely ambitious. But taking a page out of the Chattanooga Red Wolves book and at least try and force some action at goal. Bentley got himself up in the air, a little bit undisciplined defensively, but that was never really a threat to Harris.
About 6 minutes to go in extra time before we are headed to penalties. Louis Jean. Waters. Sarsar. Nice tackle. Alassane keeps it with the Red Wolves. Waters plays it long. Hernandez boxing the pressure out, being shoved.
This is pretty much ground to a halt here. And unless something stunning happens, it appears we are destined for penalties. There are players hobbling, there are hands on hips. And now we are watching both sides try and take a little bit extra time off the clock here. I think that largely everybody's accepted their fate. This is going to come down to the penalty spot.
Jakubovic. He might be a very important player if we truly do go to penalties. Him and Harris, the two seasoned vet keepers. I'm not sure if a keeper, if you want that to happen, if you're hoping your team scores right now. Bentley. Waters. Knapp. Quick touches here for the Red Wolves. Green. Bentley. Hernandez. Good combinations. Bentley on the cross. And who was the last to touch there? It was the defense.
Yeah, corner being awarded. So I say that it looks like everybody's accepted their penalty fate, and suddenly look at the buildup from Red Wolves throwing numbers forward.
That was a great sequence. Smart passes being made for the Red Wolves. They led in this game to start. Off the corner, untouched.
So much for that.
Well, another change to tell you about. Well, the Red Wolves going to make another change. Philippe in. And Bila out. Johnny Philippe. Does have an assist on the USL League One season. Amazing pace here from Chattanooga FC late. Ibarra. Mangarov, he just keeps going, but now Bentley does as well the other way for the Red Wolves. Things opening up just a little bit. He turns and dishes it behind. Shoulder to, no, just kidding. That is a foul.
And it looks like a card's coming out.
Yeah, Kwok just smashed into Philippe.
That Philippe substitution, by the way, and we'll have to wait until we see it, but I wonder if that is a penalty-driven substitution. Did Ayambala off one of your defensive backs and put in an attacking mindset, Jonathan Philippe?
Philippe on the set piece. Alassane runs through. Now Philippe. Off of screen and in the crowd. These fans have been eager to see a goal. Green is trying to create as much space as he can to get power on this throw-in. Green with the throw. Waters through the air. Knapp is there as well. There's an opportunity. Chaos in the box. Covered. Who has it? And it's blown dead. Jakubovic, of course, is the one that's there, and of course, and pushing and shoving after, because it truly was a pileup.
Well, Kinzer, he threw his right foot at the ball as Jakubovic, I should say, brought it into his chest. And Jakubovic is upset because Kinzer flat out took a really legit right-footed stride into the ball, which was landing Jakubovic's chest. You're going to see coming out of this chaos, Jakubovic on it. Kinzer sticks that left foot out, probably made contact with the chest, and then the enforcers come in, and the body started to fly.
Yeah, just a unnecessary shot at the end there. Jakubovic rightfully frustrated, and he's still down. Kinsner with that card. Feels like everybody has a card in this game.
The fourth official has indicated a minimum of 1 minute added to this extra time. Added time is presented by Aloha, the official hiring partner of the bench.
So a minute of stoppage time here in extra time. That's why this game is still going. And now, because of this injury, not sure, we'll definitely be into the unknown at the end of this game. Of course, cause for concern with your keeper down this late. He's most certainly who you would want in penalties. Still getting looked at. Jakubovic is very frustrated. It looks like he's all right, able to continue. He sends everybody forward.
That would have been a disastrous way to lose if you could not clear a ball that was sitting in the 6-yard box for 5 to 6 seconds. Jakubovic finally had to come in and take control. Those are the margins, Maura, and you know, you have called matches for a long, long time. We've seen an awful lot. Those are the margins in this area with heavy legs where a ball just sits there, a little tap in because of a lapse of concentration, and all of a sudden your US Open Cup run is done.
Alassane, he's not done, and he takes a shove from Sarsar, and Sarsar taunts him after. I'm kind of surprised.
Sarsar was extremely upset that Alassane threw himself to the turf trying to embellish for the whistle. The referee saw past that, but it was obvious what Al-Hassan, who was not in any way, shape, or form going to be able to get to the ball after that touch, and so he threw himself to the turf, and Sarsar was not happy with the lack of sportsmanship.
Well, this is what we're getting at the end of the Chattanooga Derby. There you have it. Through extra time, we still don't have a winner. We're going to penalties. Chattanooga Red Wolves, Chattanooga FC. Winner moves on to the third round of the Open Cup.
It had to be this way. It had to finish like this. Two very evenly matched sides. Gigantic record-setting crowd here in Chattanooga. And now everybody's going to lose their fingernails. The stomach's going to get queasy. And it's time to settle to see who goes to round 3.
We'll take a break. PKs on the other side. Stick with us. 12,000 fans on their feet. Penalty kicks coming up. It's an Open Cup. It's the first ever meeting between Chattanooga FC and the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Let's take a look at how we got here.
And early on in the opening moments of the match, you're going to see Bentley on the turn right foot. He gets prattled into from behind by Stevie Louis-Jean, and that leads to this beautiful free kick, left-footed plant. Omar Hernandez, the former Chattanooga FC Youth Academy player, makes it 1-0 to Red Wolves. But then a free kick opportunity for Chattanooga FC. World class from Daniel Mangarov. And it was 1-1. The scoreline has stayed the same, and now the drama of penalties.
And here he is. It's Mangarov who steps up to take the first penalty for Chattanooga FC.
The last time Jakupovic faced a penalty was all the way back in the championship in England, 2019, as a member of Leicester City, and he saved a penalty taken by Robbie Burton. It's been a while for Jakupovic.
Jerez starts in net for the Red Wolves against Mangarov.
As for Jerez, he saved his last two. One 2 years ago, USL League One, and then in a friendly for Guatemala back in 2022.
Well, all comes down to this. Penalties in the Open Cup. Mangarov. Off his left foot, saved Jerez!
And Mora, it was almost a carbon copy of the save that he made on Sarsa, run of play in the second half. Ranging to his right, fully extended, gets his gloved hand near that post and is able to knock it away.
Oh, pressure's on now. Chattanooga FC from the jump. Jakupovic has been in these big moments. The 40-year-old keeper. And it's Bentley. He'll take this for the Red Wolves. He was the hero in round one. And he start things off on a strong note from the spot. Bentley hesitates, shoots, yes!
Well, now the pressure's on. And back in comes Jerez. And let's not forget, Jason Smith was the keeper for Red Wolves. In round number one, he picked up the penalty shootout win. He is the student. The teacher is Ricardo Jerez. He is the goalkeeper coach, and now he is the one who is trying to help his side. Right back into goal goes Jakupovic now. Or check that, Jerez. as he continues to try his stellar play.
Saved the first one. Now he has to deal with Screen, Robert Screen, the second half sub for Chattanooga FC. Already down in this PK shootout. Screen scores!
How about that for confidence? After Ricardo Jerez stones Mangrove to start penalties. No hesitation. One long plant step. And Jerez didn't stand a chance. That's a confident take right there.
Jakubovic back in net. Zaire Vasquez steps up. Also a sub that came on for the Red Wolves. And the pressure's on him now.
Been a part of this club for 5 days, and he's in this pressure-packed situation. Welcome to Chattanooga Red Wolves.
They signed on Friday. Vasquez hits! Red Wolves 2 for 2.
The first 2 penalties for Chattanooga Red Wolves, upper left. Both times Jakubovic has committed low on that same post. So clearly, Red Wolves have seen something. They're exploiting that upper left.
Now it's Naglestad against Jerez. Naglestad, 101 appearances now with Chattanooga FC. He is the leader of this club. Naglestad buries it.
Well, a former international, and he knew exactly what he wanted to do, where he wanted to go with it. And where he placed it, there was no way that Jerez was going to have any opportunity to save that.
And you called it. Philippe is coming up. He came in late to this game, and we thought maybe to take a penalty for the Red Wolves.
So Philippe makes the long walk up. Jakubovic has guessed the correct way. Both kicks taken, but they've gone upper left on him both times. We'll see if Philippe stays the same or if Jakubovic makes an adjustment or Philippe decides to try and go opposite direction.
And some real mind games. Philippe just played a few minutes in this match. Moves to his left. Philippe stutters, shoots, and he's got it.
Well, he took the latter option that we presented. Jakubovic committed to heading to his right once again, and instead Philippe says, well, I'm just gonna plant it where you've decided to vacate. Nice and easy. Red Wolves still with the advantage.
Sarsar, the captain. Jerez stopped the first penalty. Sarsar steps up, and he hits.
Sarsar able to get revenge for the save Jerez made on him in the second half. Jerez decided to dive to an opposite direction, and Sarsar, nice and easy, and he is trying to get the crowd up, and in a critical moment upcoming here.
Hernandez. Pedro Hernandez. He's played the full 90. Here he goes for the Red Wolves. Hernandez scores!
These are confident takes from Chattanooga Red Wolves. And if Chattanooga FC cannot connect here, then on to round 3 go the visitors, Chattanooga Red Wolves.
Ethan Dudley. Can't imagine what's going through his head right now.
He's got to clear it. This is their U.S. Open Cup campaign right here. It comes down to this kick.
He has to make it. Perez. Well, that first stop is coming handy for the Red Wolves. Dudley, shoot, saved, Harris! Harris was off his line, it doesn't count. Wow.
Both keepers have come close to being called for that, though they haven't made the saves on the step up from the line. And you'll see that is really close. That was certainly not a full stop from the line. And now a yellow has been shown to Knapp, I believe, of Red Wolves.
Well, who would have thought in penalties
I
there'd be some extracurriculars, but Jakupovic and Knapp going at it here.
So now, this is akin to a field goal kicker getting frozen out. You have another opportunity. That was a close call, Maura. I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, Dudley gets to do it again. Perez is going to be glued to that line now. From Dudley, second time is the charm.
If you're the goalkeeper coach and you got called for being off your line with a chance to conclude penalties, how do you explain that to the goalkeeper room next week?
So Chattanooga FC fights through to this moment, but it still could be decided by the Red Wolves right here. It's Owen Green, Jakupovic. Things are heated between the keepers.
And Maura, Jakupovic has not been particularly close on any of the first 4 takes here.
No one will remember that if he stops this.
Amen to that. You're exactly right.
Green gets set up. If he makes this, the Red Wolves win and move on to the 3rd round of the Open Cup. Green. A historic penalty! The Chattanooga Red Wolves win! For the first time ever, they beat Chattanooga FC. And they survive and advance in the U.S. Open Cup.
A night to remember for Chattanooga Red Wolves, and an evening of heartbreak for Chattanooga FC. A match years in the making, and it lived up to the lead up. And it's decided by penalties. Chattanooga Red Wolves on to round 3. And this will become a where were you when Chattanooga Red Wolves beat Chattanooga FC for the first time in a Chattanooga derby.
Owen Green stepping up in a big moment, and he buries the penalty. With all the pressure in the world.
Jakupovic got his fingertips on it. First time that he has been in a saving situation in the entire penalty sequence, but he's unable to get enough on it. And Chattanooga Red Wolves, the party is on.
Well, an unbelievable first meeting for these two clubs in the U.S. Open Cup. Someone had to win, someone had to move on, but perhaps this is the start of this game happening every year, because it really was something special.
You saw the crowd, 12,000 plus. You saw what it meant to so many in this community. You saw the way it played out to the absolute last kick we could possibly see. Why wouldn't you run it back even outside of the U.S. Open Cup? But more importantly for Chattanooga Red Wolves, it has been a tough go of it since the USL League One final in 2022. And now this is one of the great moments in their organization's history.
Moving on. In the U.S. Open Cup, Chattanooga Red Wolves, they'll find out their fate tomorrow in the draw. What a game it's been. It comes down to penalties, and the Chattanooga Red Wolves take down Chattanooga FC in the first ever Chattanooga Derby. From Ken Levicka, from our entire crew, I'm Maura Sheridan saying so long from a nearly sold out Finley Stadium. Have a fantastic night, everyone.